All right. I'm Noah Fernandez. That's Thomas McNeely, Tubby, Brandon Young, B Young, and Luisa Vargas, who's also in the group, but I think she's at lunch right now. So basically, this is our final project for psychology. For the first half of the year, and we're basically doing this documentary to inform you guys on a topic that we choose, and our topic is domestic violence, and what our goal for this documentary is going to be to research what this topic, to inform others, doing an informational kind of documentary on what it is, what's the issue with it, if people really know about it, and if more people should know about it. So basically, as a little introduction, domestic violence it's violence and emotional abuse are behavior used by one person in a relationship to control another person. It may be partners, friends, basically anyone, and they can be married or not married, or relationship or not. They can be, straight, gay, lesbian, living together, separated, or in a mutual relationship. It can be with friends. It can be at school. It can literally happen to anyone. So what we're gonna be researching is if it happens to just a specific group of people or not. So throughout this documentary, we'll be showing you our research and basically what we get out of it as a group, and hope you enjoy it. Right now, our setting is the Oliver Ames Library, as you see behind me. Where were you? You were in lunch?
Yes, I was at lunch.
All right. We just need you for now.
So right now we're going around the school asking people what they think domestic violence is.
All right, this is Brenda Tunon, and our question to you is, do you know what domestic violence is?
Domestic violence is when someone is physically or mentally hurting another person.
Is it do you think it's only in a relationship or?
No, it's not. It can be anywhere, like between friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, anything.
All right, and if you were to see it, would you know it's that?
I'm just curious.
If you were to see it in school?
Yeah, if I saw it in school, then it's domestic.
Do you?
Well, sometimes it depends on the situation and if they're hiding it.
Do you think it's just physical or can it be mental?
No, it's physical and mental.
All right, thank you for that. All right, so here's my group. We're in the computer lab, working. Toby's here researching stuff on the internet, on accredited websites. And the final part of the project is to also write a reflection paper on the project itself, on what we have learned and on the results that we get out of it. And that's all part when we turn it in. All right, so this is Glad, George's, and we're gonna ask you, do you think that domestic violence is a real problem in America?
Well, I certainly don't think it's a fake problem, but yes, I think it's real. I said I don't think it's fake. That's so horrible. Horrible.
All right. If so, in what specific group of people do you see it happen the most?
I don't want to say in minority families, but I feel like a genuine, they can get away with it, but it definitely happens to not everyone, but a majority of the people that we probably talk to every day. It could be happening now and we don't know about it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you for your time, man. All right, now we as part of our research for this project, what we have to do now is to compile 10 questions for a survey about domestic violence, and we have to distribute it through surveymonkey.com, and we're going to distribute it throughout
social networking.
Social networking, and we're going to get the answers, and then we're going to see what kind of responses people have, and what if they have one response like if they answer more towards one thing towards the other. All right. So what's your name, sir?
My name is Jeff Lyons.
Jeff Lyons.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna ask you about domestic violence.
Okay.
All right. So when you think about domestic violence, do you think of it being A, physical, B, verbal, mental, or both?
I think, honestly, there can be all types of domestic violence. Emotional battery is very prevalent, and so is physical battery. So just overall, a big problem in our country. I feel like.
All right. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
All right. We're back. It's Monday, the 14th of the new year, and we did our survey on SurveyMonkey on Friday. We sent it out, and through Facebook and through email, to a bunch of people to get as much people that we could, but we only got 10. But whatever. And now we got our results in, so let's see what they answered. First question was, what is your definition of domestic violence? If a lot of people had, different things to say, they said physical and mental abuse between two people, somebody in a family romantic relationship, stuff like that. That was the open response, and then the other questions were multiple choice. So question number 2 was, do you think that domestic violence is a real problem in America? A lot of people answered A, definitely, and 2 people, 20%, answered B, sort of. So we have no C and D, which means that a lot of people are aware of what domestic violence is in this country, and they do think it's a problem. All right. If so, in what specific group of people do you see it happening the most? We have A, teens, B, adults, C, young couples, but no one answered, and D, married couples. Mostly around teens, which kind of shows that people see it happening the most in romantic relationships and stuff like that. So with question number 4, when you hear about domestic violence, you think of it being both. Everyone answered both. So it's not just physical and it's not just verbal and mental, it's both. All right, question number 5, where do you think domestic violence happens the most? Overwhelmingly, a bunch of people answered A, at home, not at school, work, or other place. It can happen anywhere else, but a lot of people said home, which is kind of surprising. Question 6, if you witnessed domestic violence occur, would you report it? Again, overwhelmingly, 80% of people said yes, 20% said no. That goes to show how would people act in a situation. So question 7. Have you seen domestic violence happen? 40% said yes, and 60% said no. So a lot of, still out of the 10 people, only like a few have witnessed it. So just to show how it's really happening out there. All right, question 8. If so, where? We have a lot of answers. We have A, at school, work area, home. Have not seen it happen. 60% of people said no. And question 9, if a close friend or relative was caught up in a violent relationship, would you step in and stop it? Boom, 100% said yes. Yeah. And last question, have you ever been a victim of domestic violence? 80% no, and then C said no comment. Not a people, it's not to say that, you don't want to hear about stuff like that happening to people, but gladly, no one who took it said no, but said yes. But at least they don't want to say anything. And that's it. So that was our survey, and now that's one part of our. Now that we have our information, and now we're gonna use this on our paper, and we're gonna analyze the results and to see how this stacks up to the facts. So, Luisa, what did you learn about domestic violence?
I learned that domestic violence, it doesn't only happen in, relationships. It can also happen in, family relationships and everything like that.
And, it affects, it basically affects anyone.
Yeah, it can affect anybody. And, there are ways people can prevent it. And if you, see somebody who's being, abused, and you should definitely go tell somebody or report or get that person help.
All right, that's good. Yeah.
So domestic violence is a big issue in high schools, as 1 in 10 high school kids has been a victim of physical abuse.
All right, Brandon. So, what's your insight on domestic violence?
My insight is that I learned people, when we went around and interviewed people, I learned that they actually do know the real definition and they do feel strongly about domestic violence, because prior to this, I had the thought that nobody really knew. They thought that domestic violence was only physical, but when we asked and interviewed people, they actually knew that it could be mental and that it could happen to anyone, which was actually surprising.
So we have reached the end of our documentary video, and basically the end of our project. And it's only been a couple days, a week basically, since we started. And there was stuff that we had some. It's amazing to see how we had a little insight on what this whole issue with domestic violence was. And now that we did our research and through our survey, I'm actually very surprised. I'm very pleased to see that a lot of people know more than I thought. They are aware, and that's good to know that they are aware of what domestic violence is, and they know the issues with it, and that they also know that it just, it's not just, yes, it's on teens, but it can basically happen to anyone. And like Luisa said, there's things that we can do to prevent it, and we should always try our best to help others that we care for to if we see them going into a situation that is wrong for them, like let's say in a domestic violence situation, to always try to help out. And this is a really big issue in America. I think that even though people do know about it, do have a mindset of what it is, I still think that it should be more known to the public through media and more awareness and all that stuff. So hopefully in the near future we'll see a uprise of awareness for domestic violence and new possible measures and ways to end that kind of stuff. And so that's what I've learned, and I hope that you guys get the same knowledge that we got from this. So thank you.